Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CML Infotech. My name is Muhammad Ali. Today we are going to discuss about port security from CCNA switching. Let's say the port security means this is one of the important configuration. When you do any switch configuration, you need to make sure that there is no other devices are connected to that specific ports. Let's say you have a switch, then within the switch you connected many devices, maybe camera, PC or laptop, access control system, anything, any edge devices which you connected to the specific switch. Every edge device will have the MAC address. So let's say this is port number 1, port number 2, port number 3 and port number 4. This switch with this port will have one MAC address called static MAC, and this device, let's say here you connected an IC, this is PC. This system will have one MAC address. So this switch will learn this MAC address and will be notified in the switch. So here then we called this MAC address in this switch is a dynamic MAC. So every port of the switch will have one static MAC, the MAC of that port, and the dynamic MAC, the MAC of the connected system. So generally, when you connect this PC into this port, it works. The later, when you remove this system and connect anything else, either system or any other devices, still it will be forwarding your communication. But in the real time, in the real scenario, always we need to make sure that whatever is allowed on that specific port has to be connected, nothing more or nothing less. ഒരു സ്വിച്ചിനകത്ത് ഏത് ഡിവൈസ് ആണോ നമ്മൾ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ഓൾറെഡി പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്തത്, ആ ഡിവൈസ് തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കണം ആ പോർട്ടിൽ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. വേറെ ഒരു ഡിവൈസും കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല. പക്ഷേ എൻഡ് യൂസർ ദേ മേ ഡു സച്ച് എ തിങ്സ്. ചിലപ്പോൾ അവരുടെ പേഴ്സണൽ ഡിവൈസോ ലാപ്ടോപ്പോ മറ്റെന്തെങ്കിലും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർ ഒരു പോർട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് വേറൊരു പോർട്ടിലേക്ക് മാറ്റി കുത്തി അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ ചെയ്യാം. സോ in order to avoid all such a scenario, while we configure the switch, we will be configuring that specific MAC address into that port. Example, ഇതിന് പല വഴികളുണ്ട്. One thing what we will do, we will allow the MAC address into this port. Let's say I'm allowing 2 MAC address into this port. So continuously I connected one device, it learned one MAC and it is allowed at 1. And there is one more chance to allow a different MAC. So if I change this device, the second MAC is allowed because I did maximum allowance 2 on this port. When I connect on my third device into the same port, the port will be disabled. So there is no communication further. Likewise, we can define how many MAC address need to be allowed on that specific port, whether it is 1 or 2 or 3 or many. There is a numbers. Always you need to mention the numbers, how many MAC address that you need to allow. And secondly, even you can mention which MAC address has to allow. Initially, we said that example only two MAC address need to be allowed. That's what 2 says. Then, which are those two MAC address? We can statically define those MAC address. So when a frame reach to the port will be looking to the those MAC. If the MAC is not matched with this port, which we configure, that will be denied, will be blocked. ഒരു സ്വിച്ച് ഏതൊരു സ്വിച്ചിന്റെ this can be moreover this will be configured on the access switch. So when I say access switch, let's say you have two core switch which are stacked, and you have one access switch. So you will be connecting two cables into switch 1 and switch 2. This is core switch 1, this is core switch 2, and this is stacked. So generally we're going to use a cable called DAC, DAC cable, which is direct attach cable, DAC cable, for to make them as a stack. It depends upon the model that what we're going to use. Let's say if you are using 3750 or 2960 kind of switches, then there is a stacking cable. If you're using 9500 series, there is a DAC cable. If you're using 6000 series or 6500 series chassis, then we used VSS. So this is my access switch. Now I'm gonna make port bundling, which we learned before, or port channel. So let's say I have a system connected to this access switch. Even I may have two access switch again stacked. So by logically, this switch will have a single console connectivity, single configuration mode, and will connect and will make them stack. And I'm going to connect my edge device here as well. So when you connect your edge devices, it can be camera, workstation, or kind of any edge devices. When you connect your edge devices to the access port, make sure that you applied port security configuration on the access switch side. The prerequisite to do the port security on any access switch, the port must be access port, where your single MAC address or it connected to an edge devices. So when I plan for the port security configuration, we need to enable those commands on a specific interface. Then the command wise will enable the port security. We will allow how many MAC address need to be allowed, like a 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of. Then also we can define which MAC address that I need to allow, the specific hexadigit MAC address to the specific port would be great, so that there is no other devices can be detected on that port other than the allowed MAC address. Then we also need to mention the violation cause. Let's say if any violation occurred, violation which means a device connected to that port not allowed it with the specific MAC. Let's say I have MAC address here, this is MAC address A, and this is MAC address B. So initially, while we do configuration, we allowed it, this port will allow MAC address A, and this port will allow MAC address B, and always we need to connect like this. But maybe in some reasons, or any unknown person or any edge user and anyone who tried to connect any different device to the same port. There could be various examples, reasons. Let's say if I remove my devices and somebody came and they tried to connect on this, or even by mistake we tried to connect on the other ports. Every system have unique MAC. So I have another devices here. Let's say I have a device with MAC address, let's say C. This MAC address is a unique. I try to plug my laptop into this port when this system is removed. So this port checking what MAC address is allowed on this port, how many and what it is. So let's say this port says that allowed at 1 and the MAC address is A. Now it's detecting MAC address C, which is not correct. This is what we called as violation detected. When the violation occurred, the port must need to do, or what could be the next states if violation occurred. So there are three states in the violation. One we called shutdown, which is the default. If we did not mention any specific violation, then it goes to the shutdown mode, which means if any violation occurred, the port will be go shut down. So this NIC card will not be, it will not show as connected because still it is shut down. Therefore, the end user will have a chance to notify, yes, this port is not working because I cannot see connected. For that, we always recommend it not to be as it is as shutdown. We have to configure either protect or restrict. There are two. We need to do by manually with the command to enable protect or shutdown. Sorry, protect or restrict. The protect and restrict both are somehow same. But in restrict, protect and restrict. In the restrict, in both protect and restrict, if the violation occurred, still the port is shows up, which means the user will never notify whether the port is up or down. So he thinking that yes, it is connected, so it's supposed to work. The shutdown shows the port is physically down because it's not showing as connected. Then when we go to the protect or restrict, both shows it is connected, so the end user will never notify that, but there is no data communication, of course, because the violation is occurred. If you do restrict, you can see a log message to the switch. Let's say I am an administrator, I am managing the switch, you guys connected a device which is wrong, which with the wrong MAC address. So the moment you connected wrong devices into a port which move into violation, if I configure restrict on that port, still you can see the port is up. So you're trying to send a message or you're trying to communicate. If it is restrict mode, as an admin, I can see there is a logs appeared on the switch. There I can notify that yes, somebody doing some hijack or some man in the middle or some threats or violations. It will clearly mention that which port is having violation effect. If I do protect configuration, all are same, like the port is still shows as up but no communication, end user will never notify, but even for the admin cannot get any message, any alerts that something is happening at the at the edge side, because maybe we have 10 more than 10 switches, and every switch have n number of edge device connected. So even if I configure restrict, in order to see the error notification logs, I need to log into that switch. Then only I can see the error. If this system connected to this switch, and here if it's any violation occurred, only I can see if I log into the switch. Otherwise I cannot. The same way, if this user having the MAC address D connected to this port, which is wrong port, so and if I configure restrict on this switch will produce the logs, but I cannot see, because in order to see by myself I need to log into the switch, because that logs can produced by that switch itself. In this case, we always recommend it to have, and every company will have that, a centralized management server, management tool, and will associate all our network devices into that centralized tool or centralized device. Example, there is a Cisco ICE which can monitor, get the logs, get the error message of any network devices. Or there is another device is called ClearPass from Cisco, sorry, ClearPass from Aruba, HPE Aruba. It doesn't, it's simple, as simple as that. If something happened in my network, I can see in my system by logging into a central server. And all my network devices, if you look into the ClearPass, I can associate multiple vendors like a Cisco device, Aruba, Juniper, or any other vendors whatsoever we have. We can associate all into that central device. Then I can monitor. If a link goes up and down, if the CPU utilization is varies, or memory goes here and there, or any other alerts, any port flaps, port up and down, or power supply issues, fan issues, or even if the user is unable to log in, or we can associate with the uh, let's say Wi-Fi login with the specific SSID, everything we can associate. Fine. We're coming back to the point. We said that about restriction or protect or shut down from the violation protect. So I'm going to simplify the topic. When you do a port security configuration, what you need in order to do, either you can by manually mention the MAC address of that specific port. In this case, you have to collect the MAC address. Maybe best way that you have to keep an Excel sheet records the switch number and the port number of the switch, what device on a specific port will connect, where it belongs to, which vendor, what it has, Windows, Linux, or whatever, or the CAM boards it has, which VLAN ID, which VLAN name, then what is the MAC address, how many MAC address will allow on that port, all that you need to be documented. If you have a clear, perfect document, your half of the job going to be done, by the way. So let's say you need to enable port security. You need to you need to mention the number of allowed MAC address 234 like this, and you can also mention what MAC address exactly you need to define the 12 hexadigit characters, then the violation scenarios. Okay. So hope you understood the theory. So why do we need a why do we need a port security? In order to secure the edge devices. Some of the company have their own policies. They always say that if you want to allow, or if you wanted to connect any of your device into, or if you wanted to reserve some ports from the switch to your devices, let me know which model it is, what device is it, what is the MAC address. So we will configure that specific MAC address into this port. Then only you can connect, and you need to connect the specific device into the specific port. You cannot connect it to anywhere. There is some sort of guidelines or policies, etc. So let's say we will look into the practical. We have a one switch here, okay, and we have three systems. So first we will collect the MAC address of the system, PC1. So let's say we will collect the MAC address of the system first. One 161.111, okay. Let's say the command prompt ipconfig /. Oh, this command is invalid. Okay, we'll take the MAC address from here. We'll go back to the we can write. You can see we can write A3E4 last MAC address A3. Okay, MAC address. Example 166.0.0.0.2 166.0.0.0.2 166C. Then A3E4 A3E4 IP 161.111 161.1.1.1 slash 161 class B, so slash 16. Let's say this is second, this is third. The third must be 3 and the second must be 2, the IP address of the PC. And let's see what is the MAC address. 0090 2BDA 0090 2BDA 5913 5913. Okay, let's see the system 3 0040 0B6A 0040 0B6A 0040 0B6A 0B6A 8641 8641. So this is the MAC address of the system. So let's see what type it has. Okay. Now we will configure the switch. Console. So let's say this is the switch. Enable. Let's say show VLAN. We have a default VLAN with all the ports. So let's say we will configure VLAN 10, name PC. So for this VLAN, it belongs to PC. Interface range G1/0/13. Interface. Okay. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 10. Do right. Do right. Do show VLAN. So you can see that 3 ports belongs to VLAN 10. Now we will connect the system. Between PC to switch straight cable. We have 3 systems connected. M50. Show VLAN. Show IP interface brief. 3 ports are up. The ports become up now. Now you can see the ports are up. We will try to ping between systems. We'll make sure that we have, initially we have a reachability between them. So let's say the IP of the system 161.1.1, ping 161.1.1.2, 113, ARP minus A, 113. You can see the corresponding MAC address automatically learned in the ARP table of the system. Same thing, even you can get it from the switch. So let's say I'm going to turn on the switch. You can see that show MAC address table dynamic, or MAC address table. Here you can see that the one system connected to A3, A4 having the MAC addresses. So let's have the communication between all the systems. Let's say I'm going to ping 161.1.1.3, 1.1.2, and 1.1.1. We have reachability between all the systems each other. PC3, ping 161.1.2, 1.1, 1.3. All the systems are reaching each other. Now you can see that the MAC address is learned automatically. So we know that these are the MAC address for the specific port. We will configure the port security now. Show port security is the command. And you can see that the default port security violation is shut down. So let's say interface G1/0/1. Switch port security is the command. Switch port security maximum. I'm going to allow only one MAC address. And then you can see that violation, or before that we can put the MAC address. Which MAC address is supposed to be? MAC address, let's say the first port will always remind this MAC address. If I connected system with a different MAC address, it shouldn't detect. It's already, we have, okay, do clear MAC address table. Okay, it's already MAC address is learned. Then we need to define the violation. Port security violation. So you can see 3 subjects. So we can configure restrict. The same thing, interface 2, switch port security maximum 1, MAC address is the MAC address. Then we can put violation restrict. Now we'll go to third port, switch port security maximum 1, MAC address then violation restrict. Do right. Show port security. We can see that the 3 ports which we connected and configured as restricted. So violation didn't affect anything yet. We'll try by changing in between port 1 and 2 or port 2 and 3, anything in between. Let's see. We'll remove the cable. We'll remove the cable. Now, let me connect, let's say, in between PC2 and PC3. The PC3 will connect it to, the PC3 should connect it to port number 3. Instead, we connected to port number 2. The same way, I'm connecting PC2 connected to port number 3, just opposite. We'll look into the show port security. Five 913. Okay. We will notify like this. We connected, let's say, port security port number 2, port number 1, show run. The port number 2 I configured 864A. So this is, I configured port number 2. So let's say, as we can do a simplification, like we'll remove. So now we can compare with our configuration. Port number 2 must have 8641. We'll go back to see. This is 8641. This should connect it to port number 2. Instead, we can connect this to port number 1. 8641 should connect it to port number 2 as per the configuration, but now we connect it to port number 1. Show port security interface G1/0/1. Okay. We can test this by the real switch. So we'll come to know the exact things as a configuration. Okay, so hope you understood the theory. So we can continue with our different switch, which we can access via console to configure it. Hope you understood the topic regarding the port security concept and explanation. Thank you. Have a good time.